What's up folks, it's 2Bricks and I'm here to bring you another MOC today. So this is my Ferrix Shuttle from Andor Season 1 predominantly. I think maybe we might have seen a glimpse of it in Season 2, but predominantly Season 1 when Luthen is heading down to Ferrix, and then also later when Cyril Karn is heading to Ferrix incognito. Him and his buddy also take this same shuttle. I just think it's such an elegant and cool looking ship slash vehicle. It's basically a bus mixed with an old-timey kind of a tram. It has a sort of a San Francisco vibe to it, very 1950s, 1960s, and I absolutely adore this thing. So I just decided that I had to make it in Lego as part of my ongoing series of obscure ships from Andor MOC series that I'm currently kind of working on loosely in the background as I do other larger projects like the Venator and etc. and so forth. So today I want to show you this wonderful ship right here. The instructions for this are available right now if you want to go to my Rebrickable page. And soon I'm going to start uploading things to OpenStuds as well. But for now, just Rebrickable, just because I'm busy and I just haven't set aside the time to upload all of my stuff to a second website. So there's that. And then also for all of my patrons at the $4 level and above, this is a free upload that you can just get from my Patreon page, and you can get the instructions for it. Additionally, I've also made something that you don't see here, which is there's a little scene that goes with this, a little kind of a diorama that kind of recreates the Ferrix Shuttle terminal. And that includes a little droid build there for some luggage, which is something that you see in the background. It's a porter droid. You can see those in the background of Andor Season 1, and also moisture evaporator and some other authentic details that you see in the scene there to really bring this to life in case you just absolutely love Andor and absolutely love this build and you just want to display it in the coolest way possible. So I did that as an optional free add-on as well. So you can go ahead and get all of that right now. You can build these for yourself if you want to. Anything that you do buy on Rebrickable, of course, or any Patreon support does help me to continue to buy Lego to make all of the MOCs that I make for this channel. So thank you so much if you choose to do so. Or if you just want to leave a like, that's awesome too. So let's dive in and take a look at this thing because it can seat a large amount of passengers. I think 11 people can fit in this in total, which is really nice. And I'll give you a look at the minifigures here. Obviously this guy is a recognizable sort of a Fig Bash from the scene, I think. Hopefully I captured him well. So I'll give you a look at the lowdown for all of that in a second, including this staircase droid as well. So yeah, let's dive in and take a look. I'm super excited. So this is the named character Willie. He is the passenger that Luthen talks to on the bus. He's one of those guys who just absolutely will not let you sit in peace on the bus. He just has to make conversation whether you obviously show that you want to or not. I have him here with his luggage, which he disembarks off of the tram, and he brings some suitcases with him. And he's using Doc Brown's yellow outfit because it's just a perfect match for what we see him wear. He has a yellow trench coat in the show and a red shirt underneath, so it's absolutely perfect for that. And then we have Uncle Vernon from the Harry Potter line face on there because the mustache is just right for what we see for Willie, and he's got the kind of the friendly looking crow's feet there, like that just make him look like his eyes are squinting in a smiley way. And I'm using the Trilby piece from the detective, the noir detective minifigure as well. So if you want to make one of these for yourself, that is how you do it. And then he does have an alternate face in the back, so this is where I guess he's complaining to Luthen about how it used to cost 20 credits and now it costs 60 credits, etc. You get the idea. That's one of those guys. So there he is. And we have our Luthen minifigure here. The only thing that I've done differently from the official set is I've given him the wand, again from Harry Potter, to give him the walking stick look. And of course we see that in the show. He has his discreet looking walking stick, which I believe is some sort of hidden weapon. I actually forgot now. But yeah, he's looking all discreet and incognito, walking around the streets of Ferrix with his little cane / walking stick. So yeah, that's Luthen looking absolutely great. This minifigure is an all-timer for me. I absolutely adore this one. Next up we have the staircase droid. So this droid is on tracks and it rolls over when the bus lands there, and it goes up to the door so that folks can get inside, or so that folks can disembark from the shuttle. And here you see the head actually goes down and forms the third step on the top there. So I made that to be able to retract like that, and it's pretty hard to pull it back out once you retract it, and the build is a little bit fragile here, so probably pop some of this off when you do that. And I did actually call that out in the instructions as well. Please do expect this to break on you when you try to reset the head. But yeah, I just wanted to really capture the shape of it well. That was kind of my main goal here. And then when he goes up to the door here, you can see he lines himself up very nicely there. So the passengers can disembark from the shuttle. So there that is. All right, so taking a look at the shuttle itself. So obviously you can see here this very striking color scheme with the dark red and the tan. I really studied the color scheme hard and tried to replicate everything that I could, including like the little tan strip right down the center here. But then starting off really underneath here, you can see we have a lot of details which were captured using screenshots and videos, brightened and kind of taken from the actual show, where we could see this thing coming in for a landing and just trying to replicate a lot of those taking inspiration to replicate a lot of those shapes. So we have under here these pipes that you can see on the one side of the craft only that run along the whole length of it right here. So I wanted to replicate those. We have what I think is a large spotlight here, and then these little these represent vents for steam to come out. So anytime a Star Wars ship with its salt is coming in for a landing, it shoots a bunch of steam out of the bottom to vent some sort of coolant or something, who knows what, something Star Warsy. And yeah, just these large sort of air outlets, intakes, engine exhausts. I don't know what they are, but they have this cool circular design with a fin that goes down the middle. So I replicated that with an ice gate there. So just lots and lots of cool fun details on the bottom there. And then of course just the very simple landing gear which fold up as they do in the show. And then you can just go ahead and place it down, and then they just kind of like self-level, and you can just sort of jostle a bit and it'll kind of level out, or you just do it manually. But yeah, either way that works. And then you have just the ingot pieces here to represent those sort of padded feet for the thing, and it rests very comfortably on the landing gear, so I really like that. And then the overall shape here is obviously compounded in difficulty by the fact that we have to have a removable section here, so you can place your driver in there, and then you see he has a nice little area with the cockpit and a nice view out of the bottom there. And then we can place this back, and it just clicks in with a couple of studs right up the front here. It's very nice and simple. And then we can just place our pilot in here. So I'm using an Imperial pilot just because he has a drab dark tan uniform and a cap, which is kind of what we can see the driver of this thing has in the actual show. And you can see in there he fits very nicely. He's got some headroom, so he's got a very comfy setup there. And then I really enjoyed capturing like all these little greeblies down the side with the sort of metallic grill detail that goes all the way down, and then like these little handles right here which are present on the actual model. I put a little handle on this door. The actual one in the show doesn't have a handle because it just sort of faceted and it just kind of slides and tucks away into the actual ship, which I'm pretty sure is just a CGI cheat. Don't think you can really make that work in real life, and if they did, bravo. But then yeah, there's the little indicator for the station stop, and so people know when they're getting on, where they're headed. And then like I said, I just added this to give it the ability to be opened by us human figures. So there's that. And then we have all the little greeblies on the engine here. So we have, let's see, we've got the fork to represent this very specific detail where 3 pipes sort of diverge and sort of go into the ship there. We have all these little specific pipes and details, and using this relatively new round stud with the clip on the underside to hold these pipes into the side, and then clipping on another of those ingots there, and the engine outlet glow. I think that all just came together really nicely. And then all of this is attached on here with a Technic pin right in here, which is at an angle where it can move up and down, but just the way that all of this is built, it just sort of hugs around the shape naturally, and then it just keeps it in place like that, and then you just kind of pop it in and it just secures itself very nicely in there, and it feels really great. So yeah, and then I really like these little upper boosters here. Maybe that guy Willie, maybe he's the one who supplied the boosters to the trading company. Who knows? That's what he does after all. But yeah, these are built identically as far as symmetrically front to back. So there's just the same build on either side. It's got the little outlet there with the dark stud in the middle, and I think it just replicates that shape absolutely perfectly. And then of course we do have the whole lid here that comes off. So you can see I tried to match the shape of this nice fin, this sort of 1950s Cadillac feeling fin back here with the shapes top and bottom. So yeah, I really like how that looks. And then on the interior here, we have a little bit of a different look to what we actually see in the final model. So what I did is I basically doubled up the thickness of these yellow columns, and I removed these seat backs in order to have more hinges. So you can see right down in there, there's a hinge brick and a plate that's holding in this side wall. I wanted to have one more here and one more there to really make sure that this side of this is structurally sound, because this is probably one of the areas where you want to pick the thing up the most, and it's one of the weaker areas of the ship currently. So adding that extra support in there was really crucial. So yeah, you won't see these orange seatbacks in the final design, unfortunately, but I don't think that the final look really suffers that much, especially not when you have minifigures in there. You really don't see the seat backs because the minifigs are in the way. And there were never any up at the front here to begin with anyway. So yeah, overall, I think that the interior is a storming success with the ability to place one figure back here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 passengers, and then there's room for standing figures in the middle. Like you could have somebody literally like standing up in the aisle, right, like so you can have characters standing and getting ready to disembark. And then there's also room to have figures standing up here at the front, although I recommend, if you're going to do that, just build those in before you put on the roof, because this is not designed to come off and it's a pain in the butt to get that off, to get those figures in there. And you can do it where you, like I just did, I just placed the figure in here. I just used like 2 fingers in here and 2 fingers back here, and I just kind of like carefully negotiated him in and then like got his feet to stud down. So it's not the easiest thing to do, but it can be done. And technically there's room up here for probably 2 or even 3 passengers as well. So, you know, if you really wanted to load this thing up, you could probably do a capacity of maybe 16 figures total if you really loaded up every seat and then filled up the aisle space and the figures in here plus the pilot. So the capacity is absolutely great. It's exactly what I was hoping for, because this is a people transport after all, and I wanted to be able to transport people. So for the roof, I did struggle a little bit to get some good angles to be able to actually see what's going on up here, and I trusted a lot of the folks who obsess over miniatures and look at behind the scenes photos and look at concept art and things to be able to get an idea of what the roof looks like here. So I'm taking a leap of faith from those folks online, and if you kind of Google like Ferrix Shuttle model, you can see some of the different CG models and things people have done. So yeah, I added some greeblies up here that kind of look like they match roughly what you see in the show there. We have a window up here to let some light into the cabin, and also some back here. So there's you know, as much light as possible for the front here, which I really like. And then another one of those details that somebody added that I thought made a world of sense is a ladder up here so that you can access the roof for repairs. So it was just something that I thought would be a really cool thing to add in. And again, I'm not sure that it's actually present on the real model, but somebody online represented that in their CG model, and I thought that was such a great detail, I wanted to put it in here. So you have the ladder going all the way up there like that. There's some slight asymmetry, so this wall of windows back here goes further because it continues down to through the part where there would be the door on the other side. And then so you just had to figure out how to extend this design out to accommodate that. And yeah, just a lot of those fun little challenges and a lot of difficult sideways building with different angles and different amounts of clearance pushing out from the center here to get this sort of faceted look going back, and then also offsetting the these cheese wedges by half a stud so that you would have a nice flat plate in here where you could put sticker detail if you wanted to enhance this sign that is indicated here with this red cheese slope piece. So just a lot of work to get the really subtle things feeling right in here. And even I wanted to try to sort of pay homage to the fact that this windshield piece is really, really good shaping wise from the front, but it really needed to come out to the sides more. So what I did is I just put a little bit of a window indication into the side of this so you can kind of see that it's angled up. And then I also added this cheese wedge piece here in clear to give it the sense that it's flared out to the sides as well as sloping down at the front. So yeah, I really did everything I could to try to bring this thing to life as best as I possibly could, because I just think it's such a cool ship. I'm not going to ever design another one of these. I'm not going to do a version B 5 years from now. This is it. So I really wanted to get everything in here as best as I could. And I did notice that this little section of pipe right here keeps wanting to push itself up. And I think that's just because there actually isn't technically enough space in here between for the tolerance for the binocular piece to be squeezed in between 2 clips. So in the final design, I actually did move these clips around a little bit of where they attach to make sure that there's the adequate spacing in here so you don't get this pinching effect that I'm seeing in my one. So yeah, a couple of things that I did tweak in the final design there that I just simply didn't have the time or parts on hand. I'm very disorganized right now, so I didn't have the parts to be able to go and reflect those changes in this design, but I probably do have them sitting somewhere in my studio. But yeah, I hope that you guys get a kick out of this overall design, because I worked very, very hard on it and I'm super pleased with the final result. So there is the Ferrix Shuttle from Andor, and you can see back there I've just removed the door just to make it you know, more realistic to the show, so that it's like the door has been tucked away in there, so the passengers are disembarking. I think it's really fun. Luthen there trying to make his escape from this chatty Cathy. So yeah, there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at this fun and super specialized vehicle, super obscure, but one that I think made a big impression, at least on me, for the brief time that it was on screen, as did the characters in the scene. And there's that weird little moment too where Cyril and his buddy, who I always forget the name of, they swap hats while they're riding the shuttle for some reason. They just, it's a weird, cute little moment. They just decide to swap hats. So there you go. So yeah, it's a fun design and a great little specific bit of the detail and the texture and the flavor of Ferrix, which is such a very, very well detailed and well fleshed out society. And it was really nice to be able to build this little element of it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to move on to my Patreon shout out for the video. Don't forget, you can get these instructions for free if you are already signed up to the Patreon at the $4 tier or up. And you also have access to a bunch of other exclusive models through that as well. So you're not just getting this, you're getting a lot of other things there too. So do sign up if you feel like you want to. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to get on to that shout out, like I said, and I'll see you on the next video.
And today's patron shout out for the video is going to go to Bill Stubbles. Thank you so much for the support, Bill Stubbles. I'm going to assign you the character of Stub Bills, who is a Latero prospector that is kind of inspired by Jedi Survivor. I was playing that game not too long ago. And I really enjoy the prospector characters that you find kind of wandering around in the outback, just trying to kind of discover new things and chart the galaxy. So I really love the character of Grease, and of course he's also from the Jedi Survivor games. The Latero species was invented for that, so I wanted to combine those two cool things that I really enjoyed about that game. And I hope that you enjoy your character. He's got his little electro binoculars there and a really gnarly staff that he's foraged from his travels. And he's just going out into the far reaches of the Outer Rim and discovering all kinds of cool stuff, weird treasures and undiscovered minerals and all kinds of cool things. So I also love his beard. It looks very full and wonderful. So there you go. So I hope that you get a kick out of Stub Bills. I think he's a very cool guy. I'm excited to add him to the roster and to eventually give him his own ship to go exploring with. So that's going to be really fun. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for the support. Like I said, Bill, you are helping me to do all the things that I love to do here on my channel and supporting my work, and I could not be more grateful. And don't forget, if you do want to get your own Patreon character artwork, as well as access to exclusive LEGO model instructions, discounts on my Rubricable store, and much, much more, go on over to patreon.com/2bricks and see what interests you. There's a lot of cool stuff over there, and hopefully you get a kick out of it. So if you do want to support my work, that is one way to do that. Otherwise, you can just leave the video a like or comment, subscribe, and I really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to get to work on the next video, and may the Force be with you. Bye for now.